What's going on, everyone? It's Camille Prosperity out of Savannah, Georgia. Let me see. I hope y'all can hear me. Goodness gracious. I think you guys can hear me. You come in, guys. Please go ahead, like, share, subscribe, do all the things that will help this video rank in the algorithm on YouTube. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys are having a great, what is it, Thursday? Yes. I hope you're having a great Thursday. Um, let me clear my throat right quick. So I'm Kimberly Prosperity. You can find me over at hellokimberly.com. You can find me everywhere from there. So check it out. Email me, follow me on different social platforms. Not email me like if you have a question. But sometimes you guys say you want to share documents with me, links and things that I push out to the family. So yes, that is where you can send me that stuff. HelloCamille.com. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. Listen, also, if you are, okay, let me hit my alarm. If you are coming, we're going to do something new from now on, guys. Not only do I want you to tell me where you are watching from, city, but also drop your district, okay? Drop your district. Say your circuit. I need you guys to know what area you are in. And some people have problems with this. You guys know I tell you all the time, you got to be a little self-sufficient here now. But many of you still wanted me to help you out. So this is the district map right here. I am in the 11th district. As you can see, Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. Where are you? Rep your district. Drop your district down below. Say your circuit. So listen, in this video, what I wanted to do, guys, was just really come and quickly, hey, Teddy Pendergrass, Whitfield, beautiful afternoon, Kimmy. All right. Also, I had a friend that used to call me that, a good friend. But yeah, I hope all is well with you, Teddy. Guys, in this video, I want to just come before you and talk to you about how you get help fixing your credit. Credit is, it. I'm not going to say it rules our life, but it does take over so much of our lives. And this is a very topic. Now, what I need you guys to understand is this. For most people, it's not going to be something that you're capable of doing on your own, because for many of us, um we were not born into families where people had knowledge of credit. And in week 1 of the Credit Crushers, I actually talked to them about this, about how new credit is. Back in the day, people were doing everything by cash. So when the concept of credit really gained a lot of steam, kind of started around the 50s, and then 60s, 70s, it really picked up pace. And then 80s and 90s, it just ballooned and took over. If you think about when your parents were born, and then your parents. See, so if your grandparents could not teach your parents about credit, and if your grandparents couldn't teach your, hold on, hey, come on now. He said Ohio doesn't have a district. I didn't see it. Come on, brother. Every state has a district. Work with me here now. Come on, brother. Hold on. Let me get Teddy straight, y'all. You gotta be like the insurance commercial says, be quicker than that. You gotta be quicker than that. Yeah, Ohio, it's orange. It's 6. Come on, Teddy. I think you were looking for the number to be directly placed on the state, but no, it's color coordinated. It's coordinated, right? So you're in the 6th district, 6th circuit. Did you know that, Teddy? Tell me that. Let me know down below if this is new news to you. Yeah, I want you guys to start becoming familiar with that. So, yeah, your grandparents didn't teach your parents. So your parents really couldn't teach you. It was still fairly new and it was evolving. So you are the one that this all will start with. You are the one that's responsible for teaching your children and yourself. And guess what? Like many of the Credit Crushers are finding out, as well as me, we're not only teaching ourselves in the next generation, we're also teaching prior generations. So I'm going back and I'm helping mom with some stuff. There are some Credit Crushers who are speaking to their children and their parents about the stuff that they are learning in the mentorship. And that might be the same thing with you. Oh, you're welcome. It's very new news. Hey, every day we learn something new, right? So I'm happy you know now. I'm happy you know now. And start looking up FDCPA and FCRA cases in the 6th district, Teddy, so that you can become familiar with how the judges in your area rule. Because judges are like people, because they are people, right? And different judges rule differently. So you need to become familiar with how they rock and roll in your district, right? Unless you're taking it to federal. But anyway, I need you guys to understand this though, because you want to cut your parents some slack, and then you want to do your part, because what you do not want is 10, 20, 30 years from now, your children be in the same place that you are in. Guys, right now, and let me just tell you this, it is not something that you want to go at it alone, because you're already doing the best that you can, right? Can we all agree on that? You only have the capacity to do what you know how to do. So when you talk about learning credit, you got to get some new skill sets, which means you really need to tap in. Either you're going to outsource it completely, charging these paying these credit repair companies to repair your credit over and over again, which statistically, I'm going to let you guys know, on average, someone who pays a credit repair company, because they never really fully learned how credit works, they usually end up having to pay another company or the same one within 6 to 12 months to fix their credit again. Usually the problem is not your credit, it's your income, and it's the lack of knowledge about how credit works. So these credit repair organizations, these creditors, these credit reporting agencies, they are making income off of our ignorance. And a great way that we can stop that is by learning how credit works. Some of you are incurring late payment when you do not have to. Now, can you can you make a lot of 15 cents? Not really. So if you have an income deficit every single month and you're living on your credit, this is just basic standard math. It's only going to be so long that you're going to be able to do that before you run out of credit, you tap out, now you're late, you're delinquent, and then you have to start all over again. Spend 2 to 3, 4 years on a cash system until you get credit again. And if your income has not gone up, you will find yourself in that same predicament. That's where I found myself. Truth be told, I'm telling everything that I tell you is from a personal perspective. That is where I found myself. And that's why I started a business. I took the income that I made from the sales and I invested in credit education, not credit repair. I didn't need a quick fix. I needed to get this. So I took my money, I invested in credit education. A lot of this stuff was so completely counterintuitive to me, because there are so many things that you guys think and logically it sounds right, but credit don't have nothing to do with logic in a certain sense. So you pay off certain things early, that should be a good thing, right? Because you reduced your debt, but then took a hit in the trade line. And then you did. So it's like, wait a minute. I paid off something early and my points went down. These are the things that you've got to know why. You've got to know why, because credit is determining too much of our life. And there are some invisible costs that are just coming out of your pocket before it even comes into your bank account, like higher interest rates, late fees, over the limit fees, non-sufficient funds fees. All you can't save. You can't get ahead when you're constantly behind. It just will never, ever work. So I'm telling y'all this, that you've got to get some help. And I'm going to share with you, let me share with you this that I saw yesterday. And this really touched my heart. I meant to, because I always got to shout out people who shout me out. I just really appreciate it. And so I saw this testimonial yesterday. And this young lady said, we're in a mentorship together. Excuse me. We're in a mentorship together. And this young lady said here, she said, no, here we go. Because she posted something really good. Shout out to Patrice too. But she said, you know what's so funny? She posted something and I responded to her question. And I didn't know her, but this was the reply I got back. She said, you know what's so funny? I looked at your picture and I realized you were the first one I watched on YouTube with the Title 15 book of codes. Y'all, we sold that book out on Amazon, okay? We sold that book out. Over 1,000 of you bought this book through my link, and it's not even available anymore. But yeah, I am a person who likes physical books. So although you can find it online, a lot of y'all use Cornell Law. Some of y'all go directly to uscode.gov. But yeah, she said, look at what she said. And I went and purchased, and it saved my life forever. Thanks. And so these are the things that I really appreciate, because as I find out information, I'm passing it on to you guys, because I've had people do that for me. And I really want you guys to be cautious about who you're listening to, because there's a difference between people who are teaching so that you learn and people who are teaching so that they make money. So you want to get with someone who actually is doing this and trying their best to figure out how to communicate the information to you, not just by telling you what you want to hear, but how to get it done. And when you get the right person, I'm telling you, if everything sounds too sweet, too good to be true, watch that. Watch that, because usually when that happens, the person is they're just saying what they think you want to hear because they want to make a sale. So they'll say, hey, you can do this, you can do that, and go get my template. Come into my mentorship program, come into the academy, come into the whatever. But you got to watch that, guys. Are they saying things to make you have a revelation to say, that may be? Are they just pulling up stuff and reading it to you and giving you motivational speaking quotes? Because a lot of y'all are really spending a lot of money on templates, when really a template comes from you. It is your story. All you are saying is, this is what happened, and now this is what should happen. So if anything, all you need is the formatting. If you haven't written a letter in forever, just go to Google Forms, pick a letter that you like, and then fill out everything else. But as far as verbiage, having someone else tell your story when they don't even know you and you've never even spoken to them, that's a problem. And it's not worth you paying whatever y'all are out here paying, because it's really ridiculous. Some of y'all are wasting money on bad information. And then when you find the person who has good information, you don't have any more funds to tap in the right way. And then you get discouraged, and now you're back at square one. Actually, you're well beyond square one. You're negative square one, right? Because you don't even have the funds anymore. So I want you to be wary of that. Now, I will tell you this. There are courses, and then there are things where you have a more intimate relationship with the person who's teaching, meaning they have support. They have a Telegram group. They have a Facebook group. They have something where you can kind of sort of get to them, or even schedule a consultation, even if it's for an additional fee. I have been a part of mentorships where we had access to the person who orchestrated it, and she looked over our letters. And when I say that was priceless, before I send out my letter, you're going to review it. You're like, fix that. No, that say here, you can say this better. You should revise. That is priceless. The problem with the course is that you're going at your own pace. So it's not a priority, and you're only able to comprehend at your level of comprehension, right? So if you have a question about what you're hearing or what you're seeing, there's no one for you to volley with to say, oh, I thought it meant XYZ. Now I see it meant this, ABC, right? So that is why in the Credit Crushers, after I give the presentation, I always have a Q&A session afterward, because I want to know why. I want to strike while the iron is hot. I want to know, what questions do you have about what I just said or anything else? Is this making sense? And I'm taking that intel, I'm taking that information. If I miscommunicated something, then I'm learning how to say it better the next time so that they get it. And if I didn't, and we just need to clarify something, then I'm doing that. In the meantime, because we only meet once a week, in the meantime, in between time, we're meeting in the Telegram. I don't care if you have a question at 2 in the morning or 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. You can go in Telegram and drop it in there, and either myself or one of the alumni will answer you. If you can't find the webinar replay, if you don't know this or you don't know that, hey, what did Kim say the link was again? Somebody else can drop that in there for you before I even come and do it, so that I want them to feel supported. Because I'm telling y'all, what happens a lot of time, and it breaks my heart that for so many people, this was their first time seeing their credit reports. First. For many, many others, they haven't seen it in years. Because a lot of people, life just been lifing, right? Or they got overwhelmed. One credit report that I went through with someone during a private session, one of the Credit Crushers, it was, 104 pages? That's a lot of information to go through by yourself when you're not mentally prepared to do it. But when you set that private session with me, you get your Zoom link, we meet, and it's something, guys, there is so much power in taking action. You don't want to back out. So once we're into the thick of it, right? Into the thick of it, we're in there. But I'm with you, and we're going to go through this, and if it says you were 30 days late, we're going to find out, were you really 30 days late? We found out somebody was 29 days. It's like, if y'all think I'm playing, these are the meetings. I met with Kiana today. I met with Akila earlier this week. I met with Kai over the weekend. Annie over the weekend. Tomorrow, Xavier just sent me a request for this upcoming Saturday. So this is where we drill down, right? So with the Credit Crushers Mentorship, we give the general information in the presentation. Then I give them a Q&A, and they have homework every single week, y'all. They have homework. They have things that they have to do, because this involves you, okay? Let me see here. That's my cousin. I'll call her back. You've got to take action and actually start using the information yourself. So for example, last night I gave you guys a sneak peek into week 3 of the Credit Crushers. We talked about disputing. This was their homework. I need you to be looking up cases. I need you to learn the language of the law. I need you to get very familiar with things that are right now unfamiliar to you, because some of y'all are watching these people on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media, and you're getting real gassed up, and then you're going to court, and now instead of you just having to pay your debt, you're having to pay your debt and the company's lawyer's fees. You're having the whole loan accelerated. So instead of the minimum payment now, you got to pay the full balance of everything, because you went to court and you didn't know what you were talking about. You went to arbitration and you had no clue what to do. These people that you're seeing online, they're not going to go with you. So it is very important that you do this right. And again, if anybody is saying something and it sounds too good to be true, it doesn't make sense to you, and they're just pulling up Law Cornell and reading laws to you and then telling you their interpretation of the law, which is a misinterpretation, but because you are in so deep and you want somebody to just throw you a bone, you're buying into the hype. That's a problem. It's like the Blessing Loan people. Hey, just put in $25, and in 4 weeks, you're going to have $500. And you're like, in your head, like, wait a minute. But you're like, you know what? It's just $25. If there's a 0.00001% that I can get anything more than $25, I'm still up. We don't want to do that, guys. Okay? Stop playing. Stop playing with your financial future. And what's so okay, it's funny because today when I had the private Zoom today, and we were going through, because we want to see, and I've showed the Credit Crushers this example after example of credit reports where the payment history and the payment grid will, on the same exact report, will be differently. But a lot of times, again, maybe you've never seen your credit report or you haven't seen it in years. You don't even know what to look for. So you're going through it. All you know is you were late. So when you're late, in your mind, you're like, I was late, so I'm guilty. While that is true, were you 30 days late? Were you 60 days late? If it says you were 30 days late for this month over here, why does it say you were 60 days late for that same exact month over there in the same report? So this is where we get into things like Is it complete and is it accurate? This is where we get into things like when they come back and say, yep, it's verified, boom. You can say, well, how is it verified when within your own report, you contradict yourself? Am I to believe what you said about me over here? Or am I to believe what you said about me over there? And again, we're not even talking about different CRAs because one CRA doesn't care about what the other CRA said, right? I don't care about what my neighbor here says about me versus my neighbor over there. If you want to know something about me, come to me, the source. Don't go to my neighbor over here or over there, right? So we're not talking about between CRAs. We're talking about within the same dang on credit report. And so that's what we're discussing, how to go through that, even drilling down. And I'll tell you from personal experience, and Kiana and I were talking about this Netflix series, something about Rich Life or whatever. But it discusses people's finances. And guys, I'm telling you, money is not the issue. I don't care whether you make 30,000 or 250K per year. There are people in both of those brackets that are living paycheck to paycheck. And in this show, what is so impactful and powerful is that the guy who's the financial advisor is going around to these different couples and in different scenarios, different income levels, and he's helping them get their life back on track. And so much of what he does is just being there. Just being there to say, no, we're going through the bills right now. No, you're going to call the credit card company right now. No, you're going to do this budget right now. And all of these are things that these people have been putting off for years because they just can't emotionally deal with it. Does that sound like you? Because trust me, I get it. Life is a lot. I know I had a storage unit since 2018 and I had stuff in there. And, at first I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get another place. So, I'm just gonna put this stuff here for the moment. Y'all, that stuff sat in there for so long. I was like, Kim, this is ridiculous. You have now overpaid what the value of the stuff that you're storing is. So now you're really at a deficit. What you thought was only going to be a few months has turned into 3-4 years. But y'all, still, it was just so overwhelming to emotionally go through all that stuff from my prior life. It wasn't until my cousin came down and said, no, Kimmy, come on. We're going to open this up and we're going to go through it now. And just her taking that action really got me started going to finally get the courage to go through that stuff. It's the same thing I'm finding with the Credit Crushers. There are so many people who Teddy said yes again. And storage units are my issue as well. Storage units, and you know what? If you ever look into the storage unit like stock market, they're very lucrative because a lot of times when they hit capacity, it's very hard to get another unit. People hold on to units for multiple years for multiple reasons. And it's amazing what is in there and how long people have had storage units, some for decades. Why? Because sometimes it's legitimate, but in most cases, it's just stuff that you accumulated that can't fit in the house anymore, and you're overpaying for the unit based on the value of the stuff, and you really just need somebody to come in and tell you, stop this madness. And y'all, it's seriously the same thing with credit. Stop thinking that a miracle is going to happen and you're just going to get that car, you're just going to get that house, because I'm telling you right now that even if you do, it is not going to be good for you. If the rates and the terms and the interest is crazy, it's only a matter of time before whatever you got, you lose. So please be committed to learning about credit, how to do it for yourself. I spoke to somebody the other day, they didn't know about FICO 10T. And that's a very big hot topic right now. It's going to change the game for the good or the bad, Kim. Well, for the people who have good credit, they could care less because they always could care less because they know this game and they know how to play it. But the people who don't know the rules of the game, they always lose. They always lose. And with a change like FICO 10T, they're going to lose even bigger for longer. IYKYK. If you know, you know. So, y'all, this is not a game. This is your life. Some of you filled out the Credit Crushers mentorship form, and you said you want to get a house, but then you didn't want to actually sign up for the mentorship. How does that work, y'all? Teddy said 8 years, $650 a month, and what? No, Teddy, you lying. This is not your storage unit. What you got, storage house? You're not paying $650 a month. No, you're not. No, Teddy, you are not serious. I don't mean to make you feel bad, but this this is not right. Teddy, what you storing? Teddy, 650 times 12 times 8. 325 a unit. So you got two. Teddy, do you know that's $62,000? 462. I can't even say the number. That's over 62,000. Okay, you about to make me late for picking up my son. Okay. Men in Black me. Somebody erased my mind from seeing that. Teddy, you did not just say that. Teddy, what's going on? Bruh. But guys, I'm telling you, it has gotten to the point where I've told some of the people, pull up your statement. Let's create the story. Let's create the timeline, because things had just gotten so out of hand. They didn't even know if what was on the credit report was correct. And so I say all this to say this. Some people have asked me about the mentorship. I only have a select number of spots because, as you can see, I actually do meet with people. It does take time. I told them they would get one private session for 1 hour. The last session I did on Monday was 2 hours. Kiana, we met today, and we're going to meet again after we pick up our kids. So I just want them to get this right. But I'm going to stop this next wave that starts next month. This will be the last time I do the private one-on-one sessions, because now I have 3 waves under my belt, and I'm still doing private one-on-one sessions with people who first signed up with me in February. So it's only, being that I'm one person, I'm only going to be able to do this for so long. And so I've decided that next month will be the last month that I do the private one-on-ones. And it might be the last, I'm trying to see, it might be the price increase next month as well. So if you were ever thinking about doing the Credit Crushers, this would be the time to go ahead and sign up before I've announced a price increase, and while you still get that private one-on-one session, because it is a benefit to many to have another pair of eyeballs to look at it and just give you the insight about compiling these letters. Much of credit is a waiting game too, guys. And you need to, before you send out your first letter, you need to go ahead and have your second letter ready, 2 versions of your second letter, based on, number 1, if they respond like how you desired, and number 2, if they respond like how you knew they probably would. So this is serious business, y'all. If you want a house anytime soon, I'm happy for you. You should get a house, but I really want you to rethink whether or not you're ready for a house if you can't invest in the education required to make sure you get the house at the best rates, because this is one of the largest purchases ever. So even 1% difference could literally mean thousands of dollars of you paying more in interest over the years. So if you don't have any wiggle room to invest in your education to save money, chances are, I'm telling you right now, and I'm not trying to speak death on your dreams, but the house is going to go into foreclosure within 3 to 4 years of you getting it. Because a house is not something you want to, I just barely made it. No, don't do that. All right. So I just wanted to come and have this heart to heart with y'all. Teddy said, furniture. Yeah, I've done the math. Emotional trauma is a monster. It really is. It really is. And the problem with us, and I get it. Oh my gosh, I get it. But the problem with burying your head in the sand when there's a problem is that the problem does not go away. It just magnifies and amplifies. So when you finally come up, you're like, wait a minute, this ain't the same problem. No, it's not. It's grown exponentially. So that is the absolute worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is take some action. The next best thing you can do is take some action with someone who will hold you accountable and knows how to help you. So I just had to come on here, y'all, because too many people are asking me for, Kim, I just got a quick question. I need a quick answer. And they don't. Just the fact that you ask me that regarding your credit shows me you know nothing about credit, because we're not talking about how to turn on a computer here, right? You see the power button? It's pretty straightforward. Credit is not straightforward. There are so many things that are based on what's currently going on. Is it a collection? Is it a chart off? Where do you live? What's the statute of limitations there? Has it gone to a debt buyer or a debt collector? There are very few quick answers to this quick questions. So stop it. You were moving too quick in the first place, and that's how you got into this predicament. Now it's time for your butt to slow down so you can speed up, just like I had to. Stop with the plays, stop with the hacks, and let's start adulting. Okay? All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Like, share, subscribe, and then replay viewers, drop your district, say your circuit. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.